Another opportunity lost for Arne Slot and his Liverpool team to get a victory under their belt. And is it that bad as it looks? Let's dissect. Welcome to my channel, The Marching Reds. I am Aman Chima, and here I am to review the game between Liverpool and Sunderland played at Anfield, where it ended as a 1-all draw. So let's start right away. Let's start from the playing 11. There were contrary opinions on like whether Arne Slot should pick the same team that he chose for the West Ham game or get in Mohamed Salah in the playing 11 because he was the notable absentee against West Ham. And interestingly, he just chose to make one substitution, which was Milos Kerkez going out and Andy Robertson coming in. So in goal, it was Alisson. Back four was Joe Gomez, who I think had a much more confident performance, and the fact that Arne Slot has started to trust him is a positive sign. Centre backs were Konate, Van Dijk. Left back, where the change came, was Andy Robertson. In the midfield were Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai. And I don't think it was a 4-3-3 sort of a formation. It was a similar to what he deployed against West Ham, a 4-4-2, where like Dominic Szoboszlai took up the right midfielder position, Cody Gakpo with the left midfielder position, and Florian Wirtz roaming as the number 10, and Alexander Isak up top. So you could say a 4-4-2 or maybe a 4-2-3-1. And yeah, I mean, the game started, and I have to give full credit to Sunderland the way they played this game. They looked a much better team than like what we've been used to seeing when it comes to promoted teams. And I mean, their form recently and the fact that they've been doing really well and are still currently above Liverpool in the table just shows like the effort their manager and the team has put in. And in the early few exchanges of the first half, both teams were a little cautious, and both teams were giving significant amount of respect to each other. But like given the fact that you are at Anfield, you would expect Liverpool to be more on the front foot. And although there were no glittering opportunities by either team, you could also sense that they're okay. Like there might be a few threats, or like there might be a few spaces that might be opening up, which could be detrimental to each of the side. So nothing in particular which like struck to me. But one thing which was glaring was that we were being very timid. I mean, very passive. Like there was no route to the Sunderland goal. And although Cody Gakpo had his predictable cutting inside technique, which was sort of looking ineffective and very predictable. And I mean, I'm pretty sure like the fact that they were having two men on Cody Gakpo as soon as he got in and around the box, we knew that it was going to be a futile effort because although I like Cody Gakpo, but I would rather want him to understand that his particular way of playing should not be as simple as that. I mean, he could easily evolve a little bit more and always have that Cody Gakpo thing in his locker. So instead of going at it every time, you might probably give a pass to a midfielder or like pass to like Andy Robertson in this case, who is the left back for this game, so that like the opposition does not know what your next move is going to be. And having said that, I just felt like Ryan Gravenberch, although I'm a massive fan of his game, and definitely like just because I'm sort of going to criticize him does not mean that I'm taking any of his good qualities away from him. I have started to notice that he's been just slowing our game down, and like he gets the ball between the box and the halfway line when we are attacking, and then he has a look, decides against it, has another look, decides against it. And so basically now he has had a look both sides, still has the ball with him, and the opposition is like comfortable in like defending at a low block. And they are like, okay, if you have the ball, wonderful. If you want to have a shot, be a guest. So that is where I feel that like you need to move the ball quicker, because Sunderland, what they were doing, like when we were in our own half, they were pressing high. So they were trying to block all those passing lanes so that we don't start our build-up play. And even if we do, it's not the most effective way to play. And when we entered their halves, they immediately went to a low block, which just meant that like all you can do is just like have that semicircle passing going on, like from midfielder to one side of the pitch, and then back to the midfielder, then to the other side, with like minimal movement of the strikers, or like in that case Isaac, Wirtz, for that matter Szoboszlai also. So you could see Joe Gomez potentially crossing in a few balls from the right flank. Same goes with Andy Robertson on the left flank, but like nothing concrete could come out of it because there are already six Sunderland defenders plus midfielders defending that area. So, I mean, in that moment, you just need that magic, that creativity, which would certainly unlock that defense, and that was something that was lacking. But looking at that, I mean, we could have done a lot more, but going nil-nil at halftime wasn't the worst situation. So we get onto the pitch in the second half. Cody Gakpo is replaced by Mohamed Salah, and I mean, all second half it was Liverpool right from the first whistle, and that is what I saw. And yes, you could say that Sunderland scored the first goal, but like even like, I mean, I know with every non-victory result, every non-win result, it is going to be Arne Slot should be sacked, his job is under threat, blah 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 blah. But I'm not trying to blame Van Dijk on this, but like again, it was an individual error and sort of an unfortunate moment for Liverpool that, okay, I'll just trace back right from the first whistle of the second half. Increased intensity, increased pressure. We were looking good. We were knocking on the door, but then suddenly, like when Van Dijk gets the ball in his own half, misjudges it, gives the ball away to the Sunderland player, which is still in an acceptable situation because he was not directly going towards the goal. He takes a few steps forward, takes a shot, gets deflected, and then Allison could have done nothing, and it just goes in. 1-0 Sunderland at Anfield. The same story starts repeating itself in your brain, and this time at least I hoped that like, okay, this is something that we need to be more proactive about, which is how we react after going down one goal in the game, because if we score the first goal, it's a different game altogether. But the fact that we've been conceding a lot of the first goals in the game just has not been helping us at all, let alone in the second half where like there is this time pressure, then suddenly you start playing quicker, you start looking more desperate, you start looking to force the narrative, force the issue, which sometimes does have its own merit, but like more often than not you are just like pushing the wall which would not be moving. So in this case, although unfortunate, but like 1-0 Sunderland, and then we thought like Alexander Isak got his goal against West Ham, Florian Wirtz got his goal against Sunderland, but very quickly it got recorded as an own goal. Like brilliant movement by Curtis Jones and Florian Wirtz, who gets inside the box, takes a few defenders on, comes towards the center of the box and takes a shot which was going wide, gets deflected, and then gets inside the goal. So 1-1, and then that was like around 82 minutes or so, and that's where I felt okay, like you know, now on it has to be Liverpool, all Liverpool from here, and that is where I thought that there is no way or there is no route through which we can attack, because either it's Dominic Szoboszlai taking his long range shots or it has to be a set piece, but there is no pattern of play when we start attacking. So again, more time needs to be spent on the training ground with the same set of players so that they know what sort of movement is expected from, for example, if Mohamed Salah has the ball on the right flank, Does he have that chemistry with Isaac or Ekitike or Florian Wirtz, or like who would be taking the underlapping run, who would be attacking the far post? Do they have that communication or that synergy within them? So, which was again lacking. So, yeah, I mean, we tried our level best, we couldn't score, and right at the end, we saw with like one of the set pieces when we headed the ball, the Sunderland goalkeeper catches it, plays that long ball, and then I think it was Isidore who was starting in his own half, so there was no offside, and then he ran towards the goal, and out of the blue, we saw Federico Chiesa, who was no way near that player, runs back, tracks back, and Allison was able to push Isidore a little further away from the goal, but again, still he beat him and had that shot on the target, and it was Federico Chiesa's intervention who stopped it. And boy, oh boy, what a moment that was for him, for Liverpool, for Arne Slot. And I'm saying it in the most non-negative way possible, because had that ball gone in, I mean, I don't even want to touch any element about that what if situation. So, yeah, I mean, of course, we are getting better. It is looking better also. And the fact that this draw is coming after a lot of results that have not gone our way at home just piles up the pressure, which I don't think should not be there, if I can be really honest, because you could see that there is something different which is happening in the last two games. And had the ball gone in any of our chances, maybe it could have been a different story. And as of now, we are just 2 points away from the top four spot. So yes, results have not been on our side, so have not been the performances, but you could see that graph of like that downward spiral, if not coming up, but at least stagnating. So yeah, maybe I'm the only positive guy who would be looking at this in this way. But you let me know in the comment section on how you thought the game went for Liverpool and for Arne Slot. Massive improvements are needed in the way we build up our play, in the way we attack, in the way that why are we not being that intimidating enough. So we have to work on that element of ours. And more than Liverpool playing any other opposition, I just feel it's like Liverpool playing against Liverpool in terms of like what we are right now versus what we were. So I mean, not the best signs, but definitely a little better signs. And I just hope that the next game against Leeds is another opportunity for us to step up to the occasion and actually get in that performance and the result, because the games are coming thick and fast. And with a lot of football being played right now, you just never know how the table might look by the end of this month. And I am just hopeful, I am just positive, and there is no need to be surrounded with negativity. Of course, the draw hurts. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're playing at Anfield against a promoted team, you should be winning. But the fact that Sunderland have played really, really well across the season, and especially in this game, uh, like the fact that they were concentrated till the very last minute. And of course, like you could say that there were a few referee decisions which went against us. There were moments where like they played, like the Sunderland team played their part in like going down, getting those free kicks and everything. But you've got to take it in your stride and still put in that performance. So it is what it is. 1 point gained and definitely 2 points lost. But there's no point in looking back now. It's Leeds up next, and let's make sure that we go hammer and tongs there, because it's not looking worse, but it could have looked a lot better. So here is where my stand is, and you let me know if it was the right decision by Arne Slot to go with the same team, uh, because Isaac did not look that involved, and so did Florian Wirtz. I mean, of course, he got the assist, but like you could already see that there are two ways that we can play. Either Florian Wirtz would be getting the ball, or Mohamed Salah, especially in the second half. We can't be like, there was no combination with both the players. So I mean, at the end of it, you had Isaac, Ekitike, Beards, Salah, Soboslai all on that pitch for that one moment. But I think things are getting better, and yeah, just give it a little more time, and then hopefully, we should get on another streak of winning games. So yeah, this was pretty much it. And if you've liked this video, let me know by liking this video and also subscribing to my channel. I'll see you very shortly. Till then, take care.